Like, it was so. Yeah, no. This motherfucker, yeah. Did somebody thinking. See, okay, Revenge, that's a good one. That's a good one. Revenge of the Sith, hell yes. That was actually, if I'm gonna be honest, like I would still need to like go through and then make my list and decide. So I'm just spitting here. But Revenge of the Sith definitely was one of my favorites. That was good. But no, The Force Awakens, get that shit out of there, bro. The fuck are we doing? Fucking Return of the Jedi, uh, New Hope, Last Jedi. Damn, he did fucking the first and second movie dirty. He said he put those shits in that last. This man said, fuck that shit. I thought those movies were really good. None of them. None of them. None. Yeah, the Phantom Menace was way fucking better. That shit with Darth Maul and Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan was fucking fire. And not only that, if you guys didn't know, the actor that played Darth Maul, this is while I was like in middle school. My teacher apparently, yeah, my teacher was like actually like personal friends with him too and knew him and everything. Yeah, it was pretty cool. So she would tell us a lot of things about the movies and whatnot. And what was, only so much she could say. She didn't, but what's it called? But like she told me basically that like he had to train like in several martial arts, like fucking, you know what I mean, like a lot of what's that word, bro? Acrobatics and shit. Like, so he did all of that training and everything, and then took on the acting for that character and was given the role. So that's why he was, kind of the way he did. And I thought he did good for Darth Maul, if I'm being honest. But yeah, no, but apparently like he legitimately learned that shit. It wasn't like a stunt double. It was him doing it. Yeah. So yeah. That's what I'm saying. So like, no. Like at the end of the day, yeah, six is capping. The fights are just way fucking better. I don't know. I don't know what in God's name he thinks to really fucking come out and be like, oh yeah, no, the fucking new movies they were better. The fights are
When you
just
talked about Kylo, right?
yeah.
Uh, him, I'm not even capping right now. He could have been great if it was written properly.
Yeah, oh
He
yeah,
could have been
he could
great.
have been amazing. Yeah, like I loved his suit. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he could have been so much great. Like they just fucking rid him. They wrote his character like to just be a fucking bitch. Like,
And that's
bro, you want to be Darth
yeah,
Vader?
kind of.
Okay, bet. Be fucking Darth Vader. Do your thing. Fucking don't fucking cry and scream and yell all the fucking time. I mean, like, it was just weird. And then not, on top of that, like, they try to add so much comical value to it as well. It's a fucking Sith, bro. Why are you trying to make a humor, like, or funny scene of him just rage quitting and pulling a data up, basically? You know what I mean? Like, over and over. Like, it's funny, don't get me wrong, but it was just weird, It's like, what are we watching?
Someone like him, like that's not the kind of fun you want. You're supposed to be serious.
Exactly. You're supposed to be serious, supposed to be calm and collective.
Yeah. Like
And then and the only time they ever really show their emotions, because it is a Sith, that is a Sith quality, is when they show their emotions is when like it's during in battle. You know what I mean? Like to where they're starting to lose, so then they get more angry and they're like yelling and whatever, and then they start to fight more reckless, kind of similar to what you saw with Darth Vader and Obi-Wan when they were fighting for the millionth time. To where once Obi-Wan was just beating him and has the upper hand, he started getting more emotional and just like and more reckless. Or better yet, even before they even show an emotion or reckless, just having emotion with your strikes and everything and anger, that is an important aspect of it. So, but like the way they did it with him, it was just like if you gave a fucking 10-year-old a lightsaber and said, "Oh, no candy for you," I'm like, what the?
back that Ray won that fucking fight.
And that too, like that shit was weird. Like that was fucking.
That was just straight up dumb. That wasn't weird. Straight up stupid.
Yeah, like it was just I don't know, bro.
Dude, let me tell you this. Like the last movie, if we jump to the last movie, right? when Rey fought Palpatine.
Yeah.
You know how she crossed those swords
Hmm.
to block the lightning, the force lightning?
I don't
Like,
even remember, dude.
But the first thing is that doesn't make sense. That wouldn't help you, and it wouldn't help. It wouldn't do the thing that it did. You know, to put the lightning back on him and kill him that way.
Oh, that's what makes it.
Oh, now the sound is fucked up.
Huh?
Your mic is fucking up, Batman.
Oh, mine? Like really bad? What is it?
Yeah.
It's like a slight static noise.
A static noise. That's new.
Oh, now it's fine.
Oh, okay. No, what you guys are hearing, my mic can pick up on a lot of things. It's not static. It's I guess I don't know if it's a pro or con. It's probably different between all the other USB mics. But I have a USB mic, so it can pick up on like almost anything. So my girlfriend's in the kitchen with the sink on. So you guys thinking that was static? That was just water.
All right.
My bad.
What is water if not electrical static?
Exactly. So, but no, water is not electrical static. So get your shit right.
All right.
Fucking.
Okay,
Well,
so
according to my
let me finish the fucking thing now. So the first thing is it wouldn't make sense, and the second thing is, you know how much fucking strength and force it would require to do that to Palpatine with his lightning? Like, if you
Yeah,
remember,
it took like Mace Windu to do it.
Yeah, and if you remember Revenge of the Sith with Yoda, the most powerful fucking guy in the Force, he was literally struggling to hold the lightning back. The most
Mace
powerful
Windu really blew my mind though when he fucking pulled up on Palpatine and was fucking fighting like a prime Palpatine, and just you know what I mean, and just like going back and forth with him. Like he actually did better than Yoda in my opinion. Like dead ass, like you know what I mean. Like, yeah, sword fighting. Like he did so good at where he was able to disarm him, and then the only thing he was struggling was against the Force lightning because Force lightning is very fucking strong. But he was still reflecting that shit, bro. He was about to kill him. I was like, no fucking shot that he's about to kill this guy. And then Anakin's like, stop! He's the only one that can save them. And then he fucking kills him. Or kills Mace Windu, and that's literally at that point during the story. I kid you not, that would have decided everything at that exact moment.
Yeah, of course it would.
Like if he would have died, things would have been totally different. If he actually just decided to listen to Mace Windu.
Yep. But Mace Windu
I bet he killed all those kids.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he did kill all those kids.
Oh yeah, that motherfucker went from let me kill this black man. Let my master electrocute him to death and fucking shoot him out a fucking who knows how many feet building, and then goes to us. All right, let's go slaughter all the kids. Fucking kills all the fucking. That's like, not thinking about it. That's like fucking. That's like Itachi, like deciding not to fucking do what he did to Lucia, and he's like, you know what, fuck the leaf instead, and he just goes to the academy. He just assassinates all the kids there. You know what I mean? And then just fucking starts, going up and up. Like imagine it's like a twist. Oh shit! But Itachi killed kids, fucking woman, and the police academy and his own family.
Yeah,
Even the unborn ones there.
Literally, bro.
Fucking Obito do that?
Obito helped him too. Which that's another thing a lot of people actually missed, which I like remember talking about the whole Itachi versus Obito thing. Where there's no fucking way you're not gonna tell me that Itachi doesn't, hasn't seen, Obito use Kamui and shit and even while they're in the Akatsuki, like that'd be really dumb for him to not be able to see it and analyze it either. You know what I mean? And then Itachi, once he sees something on the spot, he immediately is coming up with countermeasures and shit. You know what I mean? It took Konan years to do that, of her just studying and stalking Obito. But fucking Itachi, he's not Konan. Like, better yet, shit. What was even more crazy was when Itachi and Konan went to go get hit on with Kakasu as well. And Itachi and Konan are watching Kakasu and Hit-on fight while Hit-on kills Kakasu. And Konan's like, what just happened? And then Itachi literally says, basically what happened is, hit on, kind of got his blood and licked it and made the little ritual sign, and any damage that happens to him, what's it called, is basically reflected to Kakasu. But that wouldn't explain his immortality, though. Like, immediately on the spot, while Shikamaru is, like, doing his fucking, you know what I mean? Like, his, like, 200, like, IQ puzzle thing in his mind, trying to figure out what's going on and all this other shit, you know what I mean? Like, Tachi just does that shit on the spot. Not like trying to shit on Shikamaru, but Tachi is very fucking intelligent, bro.
Yeah, he is.
Like, it's whenever it comes to the Uchiha, like, Madara, Fugaku, Sasuke, and Itachi, they're just smart fucking people. Like, they're really fucking smart. But this in that 6 video though, okay, freaking he used that he used that fucking that data book thing with the godlike
Wait, which one?
The one you hate that says Sasuke's godlike speed, heavy Sasuke.
No.
And he started reading that whole thing and basically showing that Sasuke would do whatever it takes to win the battle and yada. And I'm like, out of all fucking shit, bro, that's what you bring up?
No, like he can talk about that, but if you're gonna tell me that a heavy Sasuke is faster than any of your guys, to be like, fuck off.
Yeah, no, he didn't say that part when it comes to what it was saying towards the Akatsuki.
Or like,
but he read everything else, and the bottom line is the fact that he even brought up that statement. I'm like, bro, you're bringing up probably one of the most ass statements in Naruto right now.
It's definitely one of the ass statements.
Either that or the one that says Kakasu is the most dangerous in the Akatsuki.
Yeah, well, shit, that doesn't even matter because I don't know if you were there, Ken. Me and Loke were there. When we were going over the pain statements, how many fucking times it says pain is the strongest and literally in the leader, and nobody can deny him because of his charisma and power itself. Like, yeah, so that Kakasu shit can go out the fucking window.
No, like Kakazu could be the most dangerous or the deadliest, but he's not stronger in pain.
Well, I'm sorry to hear it, okay, but Kishimoto got tired of the bullshit too and put it out in a fucking video game, so he gave us the answer as well.
Yeah.
Like, deadass, imagine if that was the reason why he decided to put that in a video game, was because he was so tired of seeing dumbass people arguing about fucking Kakasu in pain.
I don't think that was a thing back then.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's been a thing for a long time, man.
Oh, I don't know when it started. You know what I mean? Because to be fair, like,
Noodles.
Fucking.
Noodles.
It probably started with him for sure, but like I don't know when it started because I didn't really. Mind you, I used to watch Naruto videos for like throughout my whole life and shit. You know what I mean? I watched a lot of Naruto Explained because he's been out doing his thing for a while. But then it got to a point where, like, I started getting older and older, and then I see this one like fucking debate. Like, this is literally how it all started for me, and how I got literally into like getting more involved into the Naruto community and just doing my own shit or debating and whatever. Whereas I see this one video of this dumbass motherfucker Noodles, debating for Kakasu, and the amount of nonsense that came out of his mouth, and I was like, what the? I'm like, oh hell no, that this shit is happening. This is unacceptable. You know what I mean? So like. That literally, like, got me so fucking triggered that I just started going into everything. And it wasn't just with Noodles either. Like, there was some other things that I was seeing, and I was like, what the fuck are people talking about? Like, bro, like, you don't even have to be a scaler, you know what I mean, like an anime scaler or anything. Like, Naruto's pretty fucking straightforward in the scaling side of things. You know what I mean? Like, And people are really gonna start this bullshit right now? Like, come on,
for
bro.
the most part.
You know what I mean? Yeah, for the most part. You know what I mean? Like, it's very fucking simple, And so that's what really got me more into it, was just, I started just hearing crazy ass shit, and I was like, bro, there's no way. Like, it was just crazy. And then, like, some of the downplays when it came to Lee or Guy, like, that shit was, like, annoying the fuck out of me. Better yet, there was this one video I just did a reaction video to, I forgot his name. He's either called New Horizons or something else, I don't remember. But either way, like, I did a reaction video, and it was like one of his older videos where he was doing chunin exam Sasuke versus Rocklee, and what's it called? Like, basically, how it goes for that topic is like it's two arguments. it's either one, someone uses narrative arguments to just imply and say that, oh yeah, Sasuke is just naturally more powerful and would shit on him or whatever, yada yada. And then you have the other side of the arguments where people are looking at feats itself and actually analyzing it and, you know what I mean, going into it and being like, whoa, technically, if you really compare...
More powerful.
Huh?
Like, he got clamped. He got fucking clamped.
Who?
When he met Sasuke.
Oh yeah, no, I know, exactly. But that's what I'm saying, like, you know, so you have people that analyze that... You know what I mean? So, like, it's a hilarious topic, but those are basically the two sides you have. And so when I did react to the video... Obviously, this is just me spitballing whenever I'm reacting. Like, I'm not really... I've told you guys this millions of times. Unless I actually do my homework, look over everything again, and then come out with my video, that's what my actual stance will be. But at that point, I just go off my memory or, you know, just going off, you know, anything that's logical at least. And so when I watched the video, obviously the guy, from the beginning of the video, he made it very clear. He was like, by the way, this Sasuke fucking stomps Lee. Like, he would destroy him. Like, and I'm like, I paused the video and was like, damn. I was like, it'd be like that? Sasuke is just you know, just pulling down his pants and fucking shitting on him. Okay, bet, let's go, you know? So from there, like...
Chunin?
Yeah, tuning exams. Yeah, tuning exams. Sasuke and Rock Lee. And so, like...
I don't know if that's, like, follow.
Yeah. So it was just funny how it came out about it, and like, and obviously for the other side of people that would argue more in favor for Lee would, you know, get triggered just from that alone. But fucking, it was funny. And so I was like, all right, I got you, Lee fans. I'm gonna argue for you guys, and I'll have my points, and we'll go from there, and and et cetera, and debunk that way. And technically, if I had to pick a side currently, I'm on the side of Rock Lee, and I go more into detail in the video. So when you guys hear it and everything. Like, it's not me just saying stupid shit. Like, it makes sense and everything. Like, I'm debunking the fuck out of that shit. But either way, fucking basically it gets to the point where in that reaction video, like, this guy, like, he basically says the reason why Sasuke wins is because Sasuke was able to damage Gaara with his Chidori while Rock Lee couldn't damage Gaara with the fifth gate. And so when he's explaining that and going through that, I'm like, hold up. I paused the video, right? And I'm like, does this guy not understand that Sasuke's durability is not Gaara's durability? What the fuck is he on about? Those are two separate things. You know what I mean? Like, fucking... So what I mean by that is, the reason why Lee, in the first place, it's two things. Either plot to the story, or two, what's it called? Technically, Gaara would be Lee's kryptonite. Okay? Gaara's whole thing is literally an absolute defense. Okay? Similar to like a Susanoo or a ninjutsu-based, you know, hack's ability that literally is an ability to defend himself. Okay, and it's a hard counter against taijutsu. Okay, it's not immune to taijutsu because we've even seen Naruto with just 2,000 shadow clones was able to body even a stronger transformation and that sand defense and etc. So taijutsu can damage Gaara. It's not that it can't, but either way. The problem with Gaara and Lee, and why Gaara is fucking his kryptonite, basically, is with Lee, when he goes into the gates, he has a time limit. You know what I mean? Like, he's only so powerful for so long and so fast for so long. So he can only be able to dish out... Well. Yeah, and he can only be able to dish out, you know what I mean, so much AP throughout that time interval, while Gaara literally has his sand, also has his armor sand to protect him, has stupid amount of stamina and chakra because he's a fucking Jinchuriki, okay? And then on top of it, his regeneration from the One Tails. So, like, you're talking about a guy that's using the gates that is fucking himself up the longer he's in the gates, so meaning he's gradually getting more weaker and weaker over time, okay? His body's getting more fucked up, you name it, okay? And then on top of it, he utilized the other gates before because if Rock Lee just went into the third and fourth gate right off the whip, and then to fifth gate, he would have been even more powerful than he was, instead of just immediately resorting to the other gates and using those, because you know what that does. It kind of fucks up his body and everything, and we saw the result with that, how Gaara was just bullying him after that. But either way, like, so, you know, I kind of go towards that direction. I explain it perfectly and everything for the video, and that'll be released later. But, you know, I go from that, I'm like, so, like, technically, that doesn't even work, that argument, because... Yes, Sasuke Chidori did go through Gaara's fucking sand and his armor and made him bleed, but we're talking about fucking Chidori. It's an A-rank jutsu that's a ninjutsu hacks like ability basically that is designed to pierce through anything it hits. Like, it's fucking lightning style, bro. You know what I mean? Like, so of course that is gonna do more damage and hurt fucking Gaara. Like, even the Rasengan would go through Gaara's shit and fuck him up, you know?
But man, there is no way Sasuke is healing the Chidori only in the 5th gate.
Exactly, and so that's why it got to the point where I'm like, so what he's saying, it's not that it's incorrect or wrong, it just, there's no connection when connecting the dots, because you can't say that Sasuke beats Lee and is more stronger because he could hurt Gaara while Lee couldn't, which that doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, if Lee was able to be in the 5th gate from the whip, or not even the 5th gate, the 4th gate, okay, and then to the 5th gate from the start, or better yet, didn't have a time limit to where it's fucking up his body, his bones, his muscles, and everything, alright, like, and it could be in that longer, he would have killed Gaara. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he only needed a little bit more time to fuck him up. Like, literally, when Rocklee did his last attack, and this is like during while he's, you know, fatigued and tired because he did all the other gate moves and etc. before going into the 4th and 5th gate, you know, like, Gaara is on like the verge of fucking death. Like, it's very emphasized in everything in the anime and whatnot. And the only reason why he survived, which is even stated by Guy and Kakashi, was because he used the last amount of sand that he had from the gore to cushion the blow and basically, you know, give more protection. You know what I mean? And then even if like Lee was able to bypass that and land a pretty fatal blow or heavy blow, you know what would have happened? He would have just turned into the fucking beast and Lee would have still died. So overall, like, it's not a fair fight for Lee. He's fighting against someone that solely relies on taking a beating, okay, or defending himself, and can heal, and even if he does lose, just transforms into a fucking, you know, monster right after. You know, like, so yeah, Rock Lee's gonna fucking lose the fight, you fucking dumbass. You know what I mean? Like, so like, that's the first thing. You know what I mean? So better yet, now if you take Sasuke and put Sasuke instead, alright, just in base, which reminds you, I'm very well aware that Sasuke is more faster when he fights Gaara than when he fought Lee the first time. So that was the main reason why he was getting blitzed and bullied and everything. But that's irrelevant because just in base, while Lee had weights on, he was outputting pretty heavy damage to Sasuke and fucking, you know what I mean, fucking kicking him and punching him and moving him around like he's a goddamn ragdoll with no gates. Like, and you know what I mean? Sasuke has no durability feats, okay, during the beginning of part 1 or anything that just miraculously puts him on a level to withstand fucking Gates level of power or fucking 2,000 shadow clones of power and all this other shit. You know what I mean? Like, so if Lee is bullying him and causing damage just in base, okay, and not even if I really want to be even more petty, I believe he even broke some of Sasuke's ribs. That was also stated. I can't remember if that was stated or not, but I think that was a thing too. But either way, like, that's just in base. And then Lee was about to use the Lotus, and I don't think he would have killed him. I'm pretty sure he would have held back on the Lotus and just, like, you know what I mean, incapacitated him at the very least.
But the damage would be severe.
Yeah, the damage would have been severe, though. You know what I mean? So, which was really fucked up. I don't know, like, the fact that Lee was going that far.
Do you think that Gaara would have straight up died if Lee had the 6th gate?
Like, if Lee had this... If Lee was able to utilize the 4th and 5th gate just longer, or better yet, went into that immediately, I do feel like Gaara would have been killed, because he would have been doing way more damage and been in it longer. And then done the final blow as well, and Gaara would have got killed, and the beast would have came out, basically. The monster would have had to. He would have had to heal him, or bring him back.
Shikaku.
Yeah, Shikaku would have, because otherwise when Shikaku dies, unless Shikaku's like, you know what, I just want to be reincarnated, then he's dead, you know? So,
Yeah, I think he would do that.
but if Lee went into the 6th gate, oh, hell yeah, bro. Like, you gotta remember, the gates, the more gates you use, you know, you get more powerful, basically. You know what I mean? Like, it's literally stated. Like, fucking, when you're utilizing the gates, it literally stated to where it says it allows you to utilize more of your chakra in your body. It's releasing the limiters that it has, to where basically it gives you dozens and dozens of more of your original power. you know? So to where every time you're releasing another gate, you're just getting more chakra and becoming more powerful. You know what I mean? You know, so and that's kind of the whole thing with the gates. And then not only that, fucking you know, like even like the first couple gates, I can't remember exactly, but I do know like utilizing the first 2 gates that will put a lot of strain and toll on your body, and then the third gate is like the gate of healing, I believe, if I'm correct, and that like kind of heals and restores everything to a degree. And then when you go into the 4th and 5th gate, you just get even more massive level of power. But either way, you know, fucking like when it comes to, yeah, if Lee even had the 6th gate, like the motherfucker's done. Like he would have got like, bro, even Guy and Base could more than likely be able to fucking hurt Gar enough and kill. Like, bro, if Naruto could do that shit with 2,000 shadow clones, okay, just taijutsu alone, while Gar is in his full, basically V2 transformation, okay, because Gar goes from like V1, then to V2, and then to full Biju transformation when he realized Naruto was about to basically kill him with all those shadow clones that he had, okay. And so with that being said, like, you know what I mean, if Naruto can do that, why the fuck can Guy not do that either? You know, or better yet, Lee not be able to if he had more time. It makes no fucking sense, you know? So overall, like, it gets to a point where, you know what I mean, that whole argument that he had in the beginning, which, like, I'm not trying to shit on him or anything. It's probably making me sound like I'm being a dickhead to him or whatever, but, you know, it's, at the end of the day, it's just, you know, it's his opinion, it's fine, it's great. Nothing wrong with that. But, like, overall, like, with fucking Lee, if you put Sasuke in Gaara's shoes, okay, what the fuck does Sasuke do against the 4th gate, and especially the 5th gate? Like, if you actually compare their speed and everything, Sasuke only requires the speed of weightless Lee. It is confirmed multiple times by Kakashi and Guy, and then to even top that off, Guy even states and says to fucking Kakashi, like, why would you just give him that level of speed even when you saw, you know what I mean, Lee, the amount of speed and power he was using that was basically greater, you know what I mean, and that was still not enough. Like, what is his plan? What are you thinking? And the whole reason why Kakashi gave him that speed, because you need a certain level of speed to utilize the Raikiri or Chidori. Okay, Raikiri's S rank, Chidori's A rank. You know, they're basically the same shit. I'm assuming Raikiri is more powerful because you add more chakra, probably. That's the only thing I can think of. I'd have to look a little more deeper into that. But either way...
I think it's also easier to control.
What's that?
I think the Raikiri is a little bit easier to control as well.
Got you. That would make more sense. You know what I mean? So, like, you know, because remember, like, the Rising God was A rank, then the Rising Shuriken was S rank. You know what I mean? So, like, so it's just basically that. But anyways, you know, so, like, overall, like, that's the reason why Sasuke had to obtain a level of speed. Okay? And because he has a Sharingan, he can also be able to utilize that level of speed and not get fucked up in the process. You know what I mean? Because he can be able to see and predict movements and perception and all that. So literally to the point where that was the main reason why Kakashi gave him Chidori. Kakashi knew that with just, you know, taijutsu, like, he knows taijutsu could be enough, but it's just too risky and it's a gamble, especially against the way Gaara fights as a ranged fighter, sand to defend himself, his armor, sand, you name it. You know what I mean? It would be just really dumb to mainly try to utilize taijutsu. Because if I'm being honest, like, if Sasuke kept just, while in base, just using his weightless speed, you know what I mean? And just kept up fucking up Gaara would eventually ran out of chakra and lost. Which is why he had to utilize that full ball of armor sand, and he was planning to transform into his one-tail form, his V1, you know? And so basically when he was going to do that, like, then Sasuke's like, alright, this is perfect, because this jutsu is technically still incomplete. It's not even mastered yet. He doesn't master it until he's fighting Gaara a second time, basically. So technically, this is even worse for Sasuke of fighting against Lee, because he has to charge up the jutsu, which takes a good bit of time, and then can move, you know what I mean? And if you really watch Sasuke, like, don't get me wrong, using Chidori, you're fucking fast. But the craziest thing is if you actually compare Kakashi's Chidori when he first uses it without the Sharingan, that motherfucker is just zooming, destroying shit, you know? Like, then you look at Sasuke, and this motherfucker looks like he has a fucking rock on his back. Like, he's not even moving that quick. And he's running down, slamming his Chidori into the ground, which I don't know why he would do that. That would technically make you slower, but whatever. What's it called? But he's going, and then, he just basically does it right through Gaara and dodges all his attacks and just slams it into him. But literally, like, it's even stated by Sasuke that he was only able to do that, and this is perfect, because Gaara was not moving. So, like, I'm not saying Sasuke wouldn't be able to whip out Chidori once he's pressured enough or, kind of being, fucked, to where he needs to get his head out of his ass and do Chidori without having to what he did basically at that moment. Because that's kind of what happens when he's fighting against Gaara, to where he does 2 Chidoris twice, to where it didn't take him nowhere near as long to charge it up or, to complain about it, to where he just immediately did it and did it to Gaara twice after. But since it's the beginning, it's kind of hard to argue Sasuke could be able to pull that, because you could just argue and be like, well, Sasuke can only be able to utilize Chidori now pretty easily and do it immediately on the spot because he did it the first time against Gaara, you know what I mean, and realized how to do it, So, I don't know, that's just a thing. But either way, the bottom line is, it's really not even that important, because if Lee goes into the 4th gate, like, I kid you not, bro, just with the 4th gate, okay, if you watch even the anime or even the manga, just his body moving alone blew up everything. Like, it just fucking, like, some Dragon Ball Z type level shit, bro. Like, just blew up everything around. The power was overwhelming. Kakashi fucking that was literally forced to use a shotgun at this point because he couldn't even really monitor or track Lee, okay, and was literally stating over and over, he's so fast. Kakashi was shitting his pants, basically, like, saying, like, to be able to utilize the 1st gate is one thing, but to go all the way to that point, like, is he a fucking genius? Like, there's no way. That should be impossible. Okay? Like, Kakashi shitting his pants, everyone's getting overwhelmed, Choji, Shikamaru, Ino's like, where is Lee? They can't even fucking see him. So this man is moving so fast to where in the anime, it's even more crazy to where, like, it looks like he's in a whole other fucking dimension because of how fast he's moving. Like, he's in another plane of existence. While everyone else is, seeing Gaara and looking for Lee, like, they don't know where he's at, while Lee's just talking to himself in, like, that other plane, and then appears into the, our plane and is fucking up Gaara, doing crazy ass, teleportation over and over, biting his ass, like. But even before that, like, I don't know if you guys remember when Lee just did a speed blitz and slammed his fucking kick to Gaara's chin. Bro, yeah, that shit, I'm telling you, I felt that myself when he did that. Like, and the only reason why Gaara survived that attack was because of his fucking armor sand and, and just how heavy and, his ability to cushion the blow to a degree. But I'm going to be real with you, if that was Sasuke, his neck would have been broken.
Well, yeah. To be fair, there's also more to that, because right after that exchange happens, Kakashi literally confirms to Might Guy the only reason why Gaara survived that attack is he's able to slip away with a substitution right at the end of it, because
and that too. The first time he does the Lotus, correct? Yeah, and that was.
You could argue that Lee could have won that had he had not hesitated.
True. Well, it wasn't even with a hesitation. It was because Lee was in pain. Like, while he was doing that combo and kicking him up in the air, because Gaara is so fucking heavy, because he has sand armor on his body. Then he has that big ass gore and the amount of chakra, and everything. Like, so Lee's having to kick this motherfucker and do a crazy ass combo while gravity is against him. And he's kicking him more and more up. And then because he's utilizing the gate and he's having to exert more of himself, it causes, like, pain for a moment. And the moment that happens, Gaara, like, his eyes went wide and open, and he was able to do a substitution jutsu. So that would have only happened. So meaning if Lee never went in pain and did not stop, Gaara would have died. So, like, and that's without the 4th and 5th gate, So
that's why I was sitting here thinking this whole time, because you had said the person said that Lee never hurt him at the 5th gate, but that's not true.
No.
Lee had that I won at least twice.
Yeah, twice. And technically he would have killed him a second time when he did the 5th gate. Mind you, while he was doing all those attacks and fucking a Gaara and, like, looking like a goddamn Super Saiyan, basically, and you couldn't even see him, nothing, like, that was all in the 4th gate. He then activates the 5th gate to do the final blow. So, like, imagine if he just went to 4th gate, kicked him up, then immediately went to 5th gate. Now he's doing more damage, more faster, and then, you know what I mean? Like, so, like, it's literally to the point where with that blow, the only reason why Gar even survived that is because it's literally stated that he utilized his gore to cushion it to a degree and used the rest amount of sand and chakra to defend himself from that attack. Okay? It was like a last-minute ditch effort. Okay? And you know, it didn't do enough because you got to remember, the more longer Lee is utilizing the gates and everything, his muscles start tearing, his bones start shattering. You know what I mean? Like, so obviously that's gonna, you know, weaken your AP as well. So with all that in combination, Gar was able to survive towards the end. And even if Gar died, the fight would have been stopped because they're not just gonna let a fucking, you know what I mean? They wouldn't let Naruto go into the 9-tail rampage either. They would stop the fight. You know, so Lee would have won that fight, and then then basically the Jonin or even the Okage would have had to basically fight against Gar's shit and then just, you know, deal with him. Which I'm gonna be honest, like, they would be able to body Gaara, but if that actually happened, now thinking about it, like, fucking Kakashi would have just done his Raikuri, or maybe even Guy would have just, you know, in base and just fucked Gaara up and shit, but like Gaara would have probably transformed into the full Biju transformation. And at that point, they'd have problems. Like, the only reason why fucking, you know, shit was kind of resolved was because Naruto summoned Gamabunta, which is like a Sonic level, you know, summoning, like a Kaga level fucking summoning. You know, and I love me some Hiruzen, but that staff, like, what the fuck is that staff doing against a fucking Shikaku? You know? Like, I don't know, that would have been actually really interesting. But they would have won either way because all they would have had to do is just wake Gaara up. You know?
Wait. That staff literally fucking pushed Kurama out of the village.
True, it did push Kurama, but with Shikaku, with his sand, it is like a defense type ability where as long as he's like incorporating chakra into it, you could argue that it could technically have better, you know, durability than Kurama because his whole thing is absolute like defense and shit. You know what I mean? So, like, basically to the point where, like, if Hiruzen went to use his pole, it might maybe be able to push him just a little bit, or it just won't fucking nudge him at all. I'm just saying that it's a possibility. Like, the Nine-Tails is way more powerful than Shikaku, definitely without a doubt. But, like, at least, you know, if you're comparing the durability, you might be able to give that to Shikaku. I'm just saying.
Well, even if we get it, like, what good is pushing him out of the village? He could always just come right back.
And he can shoot Biju bombs and exactly. So, you know, exactly. But... You know, but either way, like if the Nine-Tails did like a strong enough like tail attack, or especially a Biju bomb, Shikaku's getting fucked anyways. But all I'm saying, like, at least their body, you know, durability to like take the Hiruzen staff. You know what I mean? Like, you could say Shikaku could maybe resist it or do better than what Kurama did. But either way, fucking, you know, like, bottom line is they would be able to deal with him. It's just it would cause a lot of fucking issues. Like, it would have caused issues. And then to the point where Kakashi would have either had to just use Raikuri and just kill Gaara, or fucking Guy would have just killed Gaara and woke his ass up, and then that would have stopped the full transformation. You know, you could even argue that as long as Hiruzen lands the staff, which I don't see why he wouldn't be able to if he hits it right on Gaara, GG. So I'm just saying it would have been interesting because, like, everybody would have been like, oh fuck, you know what I mean? Like, it's a Biju, you know. So now, unless there's like, which I don't think there is, unless there's like a way where Shikaku can fully transform and Gaara's not there to stop it, you know what I mean? And he's like just gone, you know what I mean? That's something I really never really understood either. Like, why Gaara was the only one showing out of the Jinchuriki, while all the other ones, when they transformed, their host is nowhere to be found. So, but anyways, fucking, but yeah, either way, it would have been cool. But back to the topic though. Fucking, either way, with Sasuke, you put basically him in Gaara's shoes, you know. Name me one durability defeat this motherfucker has to take Gates' level of fucking taijutsu attacks and power. Like, just from that kick, that speed blitz kick alone would break his fucking neck, you know what I mean? Or just fucking make his head roll off, you know? Like, come on, bro. Like, it's so dumb. And then if you literally compare... like, both of their fucking speed and everything, like, once again, Sasuke only replicates weightless Lee's speed. That's it. And yeah, give him a Chidori, yes. Technically, Chidori does make you faster, okay, but it's not making you faster to a point where you're pulling fucking, you know, 5th gate level speed or, you know, and all that other shit. You know what I mean? Like, you're fast, but you're not fucking that fast, bro. Like, and the only, you know, go ahead.
I was gonna say, basically, you're running into a thing where you're running into basically just Kakashi versus my guy again. Like, you could argue maybe face to face, maybe Sasuke wins that fight, but once.
Oh yes, for sure. Like, no, if Sasuke does his Chidori and Lee is no gates, no nothing, he's fucking his ass up. Like, the speed and everything, he's done. But the moment Lee is utilizing the gates, like, he's just not going to be able to touch him with his Chidori. You know what I mean? He's just going to get fucking speed blitz. Like, you know, and it's just that simple. Like, people basically make an accusation that the moment you utilize, you know, Chidori or Raikiri, that now you just have, like, god tier speed. Like, you don't get me wrong, you're fucking fast, but, like, it's not the same as the gates. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many examples where, like, you have Kakashi using Lightning Blade against Itachi or all these other opponents, you name it, and they're just either dodging it or reacting to it or whatever, you know, and not even, like, I know Itachi's probably a shit example, but fucking there's even other characters that have dodged Kakashi's Raikiri, you know what I mean? And, like, it's not impossible to deal with.
Pain.
You know, yeah, Pain, like, while he's literally, like, perfect example, Pain has no gates, has no lightning to enhance his speed or nothing, just for reaction speed alone, which is able to stab him with the rod, okay, while he's pinned down by a rock, has nowhere to go. Probably the most insane reaction speed feat, okay, and mind you, that's crazy because Kakashi is very fucking fast just with his speed alone. Then give him Raikiri enhancing that, you know what I mean, and Pain was still able to react. So, like, so then you're going to tell me Guy with the gates or a gate user himself can't be fast enough to teleport and react and, you know what I mean, avoid Chidori or Raikiri? Like, that's just so stupid.
But it doesn't matter, man. Factors of speed blitzes, we both know that.
Exactly. You know, so that's the whole thing. So, like, if Lee goes into the gates, okay, basically, this motherfucker is going to be teleporting, okay, he's going to immediately speed blitz fucking Sasuke. It's going to basically be the same exact result you saw when they first fought. Congrats, he gets weightless speed, Lee. Okay, and then Chidori makes him even more faster. But if you're talking about Rocklee with 4th and 5th gate, this just blatantly, there's no way to prove he has that level of speed at all. You know what I mean?
Sasuke's getting fucked up if he gets hit.
And yeah, he can't be able to tank those attacks, and that's the problem. It's like, if Lee went to punch Sasuke's Chidori, Sasuke's winning all day, every day. But the problem is, Lee's going to be faster and be very fucking powerful. And if Lee lands any fucking hit on Sasuke's body, he's done. He's not Gaara. You know? Like, so it's so fucking stupid, you know? Like, if Naruto's Taijutsu, you know what I mean, or all these other characters are able to do a lot of fucking damage, or better yet, Saikon, or whatever, you mean like that one weird guy that has like another body inside of him, is able to break... Yeah, just with no CM1 or CM2. Just in base was able to break Sasuke's ribs. You're really fucking telling me Gates' level of power and speed can't hurt Sasuke? Like, come on, bro. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, what are we doing? You know, like, it's so stupid. So, like, overall, he doesn't have any durability feats to tank any of the Gates' attacks and shit. Lee's gonna have greater speed. It's confirmed by Guy. Not only that, there's even another statement that Guy says that the whole point of fucking Gates is to literally make the opponent completely defenseless to where they cannot protect themselves. Like, it's literally stated. And that Guy trained Lee and gave him that technique to utilize those gates and everything to defeat Neji, who has technically a greater self-awareness dojutsu that allows him to see all around him. Yeah, it's like the Sharingan is don't get me wrong, it's very great. But technically, the Byakugan is greater than the Sharingan when it comes to your around it. You know what I mean? Like, environment. You know what I mean? Like, seeing everything around you. And if that was designed to overcome that level of dojutsu awareness and precognition and, you know, and etc., like, you're really going to tell me fucking that's not going to work against a Sharingan that does not have that same amount of vision, you know what I mean? 360 and everything, you name it. Like, it's like, come on, bro. You know, it's so dumb. Like, it literally was designed to whoop Neji's ass and beat him, who is considered to also have, like, an absolute defense or whatever, you know? Like...
One of the things that we're not even talking about, like, we haven't even talked about, like, Rocklee's defense. Like, outside of the Chidori, there's not a whole lot of moves Sasuke has that can put down Rocklee.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like...
No, it doesn't. It wouldn't matter. He wouldn't fucking touch him in the gates.
Exactly.
Well, even, like...
Like, the one thing...
Like, even, like, face-to-face, like, minus the Chidori, like, what, the fire style gun put him down? Like, Naruto could take that. Naruto does not have better raw durability than Rocklee. At least in my... Yeah, the final he took his fire style attack.
Yeah. You know, so, like, it's to the point where it's like, you know, Lee could be able to take Sasuke's, you know, taijutsu exchanges too, even if he got hit. You know what I mean? And not only that, like, you could argue, obviously, if Sasuke puts chakra into his attacks more, then obviously you're going to have stronger taijutsu too. That is a thing as well. But either way, like Loke said, if you can't fucking hit someone, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
But I do believe if he got him in the gate, still, if he got him with the Chidori, he could have killed him.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, no. Lee's not tanking it. Like the problem with the problem with the gates. One thing that a lot of people like. I don't know, like if a lot of people believe it or not, but the gates doesn't enhance your durability either. You know what I mean? Like it basically what it's designed. Well, technically, you could argue for it to enhance your durability because you are having more access to more chakra, and you name it, more chakra. Obviously, you know, can make you more stronger, more durable, etc. But it's like the interesting thing about the gates, it's never technically stated to enhance your durability. It's only stated to enhance your power, strength, and speed alone. You know, and then on top of that, like fucking while they're utilizing the gates, their body's getting fucked up from the inside, which is stated to where there's no training or possible way to defend against your organs, muscles, and all that. So that's, you know what I mean? Like, so that's separate.
That sucks.
Yeah, and that sucks. You know what I mean? But as compared to like Lee's outside body, that there is statements to where you can be able to, you know, increase your durability with chakra. It's been shown many times by characters. Like, you have points where characters are getting hit by, you know, things that would hurt us as human beings in Naruto, and then out of nowhere they're able to tank even more crazy-ass attacks, which the only obvious implication, in my opinion, would be because they're giving their body more chakra to take the attack, you know what I mean, or whatever, you know, and so on and so forth. And then there's other things that confirm that as well. It's happened over and over. But either way, you know, fucking bottom line is, with Lee utilizing the gates, like, his whole thing is not durability. He, like, it's stupid. You know what I mean? Like, it's totally separate from the concept of durability. It's not even an idea because the gates is literally fucking you over. So it makes durability irrelevant. You know what I mean? So it's literally to the point where the whole reason the gates were put into Naruto was to give you such insane level of speed and power to where your opponents basically can't do anything. The only way they can be able to defend themselves is if they give you that key moment that it happened with Rocklee against Gaara because of the pain, and Guy against Madara. Because there was a point where when Guy was using the 8th gate where he, I can't remember the fucking technique name, Sakako or whatever, was supposed to be a continuous attack, but because of the pain, he stopped briefly.
Which one?
In 8th gate, where the air cannon attack. Where it's yeah, and that's supposed to be a continuous attack, but because of the pain, similar to Rock Lee, he stopped for a brief moment, and that allowed Madara to be able to do what he needed to do, etc. So unless that's happening, there's nothing you can do. You know what I mean? Like, meaning no substitution, no shadow clone, no genjutsu, no nada. You're basically getting fucked up continuously, and then you're dead. Okay. You know, so
actually not in the 8th gate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that too. But so bottom line is, like, that's the whole point of the gates. It's literally stated. It's confirmed by Guy. You know what I mean? Like, Kakashi wouldn't be having the reactions that he's having against gate users. Not only that, if you really even look deeper into it, fucking Guy used the 5th gate. He was holding back, but he used the 5th gate in front of Itachi and Kakashi at a certain point, which I even posted in the video of Kakashi versus Guy as well. And Itachi was like, what the fuck? Like, he did all that shit with just taijutsu alone. And then Kakashi's like, yeah, save the admiration for later, you know? And basically it was just showing Guy just, getting past all the rocks and the attacks and just shitting on all the people, and then eventually Itachi and Kakashi catch up and they're able to get there. And that's a holding back guy too, because he wasn't trying to kill anyone there too. Because obviously, if you go full power Gates, we all know what happens. It overwhelms everybody. Like they're protecting their face and shit. They're getting blown away, so all that type of shit. But either way, there's that. You know what I mean? And then you even have the point where where with the Gates as well, to where it's shown where I don't know if you guys remember, but Guy was able to save Kakashi from Madara's True Seeker orbs in just the 6th gate. Okay.
Yeah, he did it.
And mind you, this guy is fucking fatigued and exhausted. He's been using the Gates the entire fucking war, bro, and fighting. And this motherfucker is still fast enough with the Gates to protect Kakashi from a True Seeker orb from Jubi Madara, out of all people, okay, before Minato could utilize his flying Raijin, okay, to save Kakashi. Because Minato is...
Right after that, he goes into the 7th gate.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And, Minato is trying to use his flying Raijin to save Kakashi, and Guy's gate speed was faster than the activation. I'm not saying the Gates is faster than flying Raijin. That's obviously stupid. The Gates, you know what I mean? Flying Raijin utilizes space and time itself to manipulate. And basically, it's like freezing things while you're moving, you know what I mean? And teleportation, you know what I mean? It's a broken-ass hacks ninjutsu, kind of similar to the concept of, Naruto's body flicker with chakra. But then again, if you compare that with flying Raijin is still technically superior because... it's utilizing space and time itself. That's something the body flicker can't do. It just can replicate similar speed as flying Raijin or teleportation, if that makes sense. But anyways, so either way, he's able to be faster and protect him before Minato could activate flying Raijin, which is pretty crazy, okay, because Minato has a lot of, even Tobirama, they have a lot of crazy reaction activation flying Raijin feats to save people,
Yeah, and he's the best with it.
Yeah, exactly, and he's the best with it. So the fact that Guy was able to be faster than him is crazy. Then it happens again where Lee saves Guy from Madara's True Seeker Orb after using the 7th gate, and Minato once again was about to use the Flying Raijin, but Lee beat him to it in 6th gate. And we're talking about Lee here, And then there's even a point where Lee gets...
That was because he needed Kakashi to throw the kunai.
True. That point, that is true though. That before though he had his hand though, but what's it called? But either way, then you have a point where Lee is goes into the 6th gate and utilizes his full power. And I don't know if you guys remember, but Minato is kind of shit in his pants, getting worried because when he saw him release all his power, and Lee's I curse my my power. I wish I could go even beyond this and whatnot. His reaction was literally oh no, that's plenty, Lee. Basically saying, you're pretty fucking powerful with just the 6th gate. Clearly...
the 6th gate is crazy.
Exactly. Clearly even implying that Rocklee's 6th gate is making Minato more scared of what Guy is basically showing with the 6th and 7th gate. You know what I mean? Basically showing that obviously, always, the previous generation will always surpass the next. So it makes sense. You know what I mean? So, overall, the Gates are just no fucking joke. You know what I mean? They're crazy fucking powerful in the speed enhancement, you name it. It's a thing for a reason. It's a unique feature that Kishimoto put in Naruto. He didn't just put that in there for shits and giggles and to where anybody could just train, you know what I mean, and have the same level of Gates level of power. Now, obviously, if you give him a big enough time skip to Boruto and all that, that's different. That's understandable. But then again, okay, if Rock Lee, he's still alive in Boruto, right? So guess what? The same concept would still apply if he was utilizing the Gates. So it doesn't really fucking matter. But anyways, either way, fucking, the Gates are no joke. You know what I mean? They're crazy fucking powerful. There's so many statements around it to support the whole point of it and what it does, and you name it. So, it's just to the point where, why are you arguing against something that has so much statements and evidence to where it just puts you in a whole other league? It's literally stated twice by Kakashi that with the Gates, not 8th gate, but with the Gates, it can give you the power of an Hokage, okay, but only temporarily. And then when Guy uses the 8th gate, he then tells Gaara, oh, this is the same jutsu Lee used you, but just on a higher level.
Yeah, and final form.
Yeah, final form. And this form gives you the power of the 5, greater than the 5 Gokage. you know,
Greater.
yeah, 10 times, yeah. So you know what I mean, like, so like if that is not hinting, you know, like if that's not hinting alone that the gates make you more powerful and faster, I don't know what else to fucking say at that point.
Like, you have to be fucking blind.
Yeah, literally.
If you saw the fucking show, you know. You know.
Like,
is there anything more to say? You just know.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So the fact that you even, like, for people like me or other people that have to elaborate or even explain or show feats or statements, you name it, just kind of...
It's just brain dead.
Yeah, you don't. You're right, you don't. Which this was in one of my debates against that one dude that was arguing for heavy Sasuke against Guy. And when literally that's kind of what I was basically saying as well. Like, you're fucking brain dead. Like, it's not rocket science, with the, you know, yada yada. But the sad reality of the Naruto community, there's a portion of the Naruto community that actually thinks, because of narrative implications or certain stupid ass statements or whatever the case may be, that certain characters just naturally have Gates' level of power and speed. You know, like, it's just...
There has to be a reason for it.
You know, it's so fucking ignorant and it's so dumb. You know, so it gets to a point where it's like, whatever, bro. And not only that, if you really analyze the Gates throughout the whole show of Naruto, I kid you not, every time the Gates were used, they successfully allowed the user to land attacks and overwhelm them. It worked against Gaara. It worked against fucking Kakashi, Yamato, and the fucking Crow Jonin. It worked against fucking Kasame. It worked against fucking Jubi Madara. It worked against Edo Madara and fucking Obito. Like so many examples of the Gates just overwhelming and doing shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's...
That's why you use them.
You know, but it's like, okay, but sure, you know, they don't do anything.
That's why you use them, even though it costs you your fucking, like... literally your life.
Exactly. You know, so better yet, you know, you want to know the craziest thing though? Imagine like someone being a Gate user and utilizing Sakura's, you know, healing regeneration, or better yet, hit on some immortality ritual thing. Like,
yeah, that's why NC Hammer argues she could be Ishiki, but Ishiki is the worst fucking opponent.
Oh yeah, that's a whole different story. Like, you know, I've even had a video I think I've even reacted to it, to where I made like a type of argument to like where maybe possibly Sakura could be able to, you know, because of just how she is as a character and building up chakra over years, yada yada, you name it. And then if you analyze Boruto Sakura, that would just, you know, imply that even more over and amplify, etc. But either way, that was just like a theory, more of a theory argument. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I have not seen Boruto yet. I have not seen Ishiki yet. And I'm pretty fucking sure, I mean, I know how, you know, you are, you know, similar to that extent as well, that when I eventually see Ishiki, I'm like, yeah, no. Like, it's not happening. You know, so...
Actually, I found the best comment.
So I don't doubt it.
I found the best comment on YouTube right here.
What is that?
I'm gonna frame this shit.
Uh-oh.
Just put it on my wall.
Oh my god.
Like, even without his eye, his speed and his strength is far beyond.
He's a fucking alien, bro. Like, that should just be a no-brainer, to be honest with you. You know.
The other one is also an Otsutsuki.
That's just a blatantly ignorant statement. That is so fucking ignorant. It's either he's being a rat, or he's just, you know, or he's just being so fucking ignorant. He clearly needs to rewatch the fucking show or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he does.
Because that's kind of giving me the vibes of Pain all over again, where people try to shit on Pain and fucking downplay him to the goddamn T and say, oh, Pain's only, you know, strong because of his hacks abilities, which is not fucking true. Because when you analyze Pain and really analyze everything he's done, like, his rod feats are fucking crazy, how it's able to pierce, you know, V2 transformations like it's nothing. His reaction speed to the Raikiri, Kakashi, and everything with a shotgun is insane. Then he has durability feats that are crazy, tanking attacks from Sage Mode Naruto, tanking a full fucking tail beast bomb to the face from Six Tails V2 Naruto. You know what I mean? Like, all kinds of shit, you know? Tanking attacks from Sage Mode Jiraiya, you know what I mean? And just getting back up easily. Like, Pain has so many fucking feats, it's not even funny, but people literally ignore them and then try to pull and look for anything to make him look bad. You know what I mean? So where like
if they wouldn't ignore the statements and the feeds, they would look even more stupid.
Exactly. So what they do is they look for things similar with Minato too. They'll look for anything to make the character look weak or bad. For as an example, for Minato, where there's a scene where a splinter goes through Minato's leg. It's not even a fucking. It's just a little baby cut too. You know, but it's that type of petty ratty ass shit that they'll try to do. And then if you look at Minato, he's over here tanking fucking a Rising Shuriken enhanced Amaterasu from fucking KCM1 Naruto and EMS Sasuke. But you're right, his durability is fucking trash. You know, like in all or better yet, tanking a fucking Jubi Madara Taijutsu kick in Sagema, which yes, it's Sagema, it's not base, but it's still impressive. You know, what's it called? So overall, like people are they're just dumb, and they do the same shit with Pain. You know, and they'll look for anything or whatever. Like the fact that people can actually analyze the fight with Pain when he was fighting against V2 Naruto and try to downplay Pain is just hilarious to me. Like it literally does the opposite. The fact that this man was still able to fight, especially the 9 tails out of all tail beasts in V2 with 6 tails, which obviously the more tails you have, the more powerful you get too. Okay? Yep. This man's able to box him, react, fight back. He does get overwhelmed at certain points in the fight. You know, he technically gets like killed three or 2 times. But the fact that he's literally able to do shit, you know what I mean, like, and perform that well while everything else that happened before, it's just crazy. You know, you would expect him just to get shit on, you know? Like, if you take any other Akatsuki member besides Obito and Itachi, what the fuck do they do against fucking V2 Six Tails Naruto?
Maybe you can argue Kisame.
Yeah, Kasame, my bad. Yeah, Kasame, he'd be fine. Maybe. That's a maybe, but he could be able to pull it off too. That's it.
But dude, I feel he would be, because I don't know about 8 Tails Naruto, but 6 Tails, like you saw the fight against B with Kisame, I feel like Kisame would be fine.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, with what Kasame did to B and the amount of chakra and how he was just, like, depowering him to, like, get from his V2 to V1, you know, and all that, and then V1 to, like, base. Like, the amount of fucking chakra he can cipher from you and then power himself up is just insane. And, if he can do that, if he could do that with 8 Tails, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, the 9 Tails is way more powerful than the 8 Tails. You know what I mean? We both know that, you know, but the bottom line is, if he can do that with 8 Tails, he can definitely be able to do that with the fucking 9 Tails. You know, like, come on. Like, yes, the 9 Tails would technically have more chakra, you could argue. You could even argue that the 9 Tails has more chakra in V2 with just 6 Tails out compared to 8 Tails V2 with 8 Tails out. You could argue that. It's the fucking 9 Tails, you know? But either way, like, I still don't see a problem with Kasame being able to fucking use his sword like he does with any other Jinchuriki that he's fought. Take their chakra, become more powerful because of it, and then just use attacks, abilities, you name it, and just body them, because basically Kasame is the Jinchuriki's kryptonite. He's literally their kryptonite. You know what I mean? Like, all his abilities can absorb their chakra and ninjutsu attacks, which, guess what? That's all a Jinchuriki is. It's just chakra and ninjutsu attacks. You know, or power alone. So, like, you know, and so overall, like, even if a V2 or V1 tail beast charges at Kasame, as long as he has the reaction speed, which he does, it's shown, you know what I mean? In Samahada, he's fine. You know what I mean? Now, if he didn't have the reaction speed, then he's fucked. But he has the reaction speed. This motherfucker was able to react, you know what I mean, to, like, a V1 full 8 Tails Killer B and take all his chakra. He did get speed blitzed by V2, but if my memory is...
Didn't matter.
Yeah, it didn't matter because he just healed, and then not even that. I believe he also reacted to V2, and he absorbed that chakra as well.
Yeah, it kind of reacted.
Was it during when he got hit, or was it after?
I don't remember that, and I fucking said 5.
I know he absorbed V2 though. You know what I mean? Yeah, so it was either while he got hit and he absorbed it with Samahada, or it was after. You know what I mean? After he healed and then he reacted.
I know he did because B just...
It was when he got hit, if I remember correctly. Okay. Because he gets hit, he absorbs it. He goes flying into a tree. He sees that then he starts healing.
Yeah. So with that being said then, so guess what? Now he has all that chakra, he's even more powerful. Guess what? Now his reaction speed's even more. So now he can even react to V2. So you see where I'm getting at? Like, you're talking about a guy that can heal, okay, basically anything, absorb your chakra, counter any of your ninjutsu attacks, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Like, what do? You know what I mean? Like, it's not fair, bro.